The front end and back end are the two components of every website. The visual elements of a web page, such as text, graphics, and buttons, are called the front end. Your data is saved and managed by the back end. For instance, Facebook.com stores your posts, chats, and other data. The front end is crafted using three main tools: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. First up is HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Think of it as the bones holding everything together. It's like the blueprint that structures everything you see on the page. HTML defines the layout of your content, such as headings, paragraphs, images, links, and buttons. Without HTML, there would be no way to organize content on the web. It would just be a jumbled mess of text and images. HTML is what gives everything its place. Next, we have CSS, or Cascading Style Sheets. If HTML is the bones, CSS is the muscles. It's responsible for making your website look attractive and engaging. CSS controls the design aspects like colors, fonts, spacing, and even the layout of elements on different screen sizes. Want to center your text? CSS. Want to give your buttons a cool hover effect? CSS again. It's what turns a plain text-only web page into something visually appealing. Finally, there's JavaScript. It's a programming language that adds interactivity to your website. It's what makes things dynamic and responsive. With JavaScript, you can create things like image sliders, interactive forms, and real-time updates without needing to reload the page. It's also used for more advanced features like animations, pop-ups, and even games. Without JavaScript, your website would be static, meaning everything would just sit there without reacting to user interaction. The backend consists of three main things: the server, the application logic, and the database. First, we have the server. Think of the server as a supercomputer that stores, processes, and sends data to the front end. When you visit a website, your browser sends a request to the server. The server then processes that request, retrieves the necessary information, and sends it back to your browser to display. This all happens in a matter of milliseconds. Without a server, there would be no way to access or deliver the content you see on a website. Next is the application logic, which is like the brain of the backend. This is where all the decision-making happens. It's built using programming languages like Python, Java, Ruby, or Node.js. The application logic determines how data is processed and how the server responds to various requests. For example, if you log into a website, the application logic checks if your credentials are correct, processes your request, and then either grants or denies access. Finally, we have the database. The database is where all the data is stored, everything from user profiles and passwords to product information and transaction histories. Think of it as a giant organized library of information. When the server needs to retrieve, update, or delete data, it communicates with the database. Databases can be managed using systems like MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, or others, depending on the needs of the application. The database ensures that all the data is stored securely and can be accessed quickly when needed.